Hi, my name is Linda Steele. Thank you for tuning into Fit.live to watch my broadcast. We are going to be working on legs today, lower body. And again, my name is Linda Steele. I'm broadcasting live from Chicago. I have a degree in the field from DePaul University. I hold 9 different certifications. I'm an expert in senior fitness, exercise therapy, and nutrition. Throughout my broadcasts, I will be mentioning some tips about nutrition so that you can make sure that your workouts are giving you the best benefit you can ask for. Today we're going to do legs. And as you know, what I recommend with all of my clients is that they've completed 20 minutes of rigorous cardio prior to working out. This decreases your chance of injury by about 70%. When I say rigorous cardio, what I mean is something that's low impact, but will get your heart rate moving. We have plenty of options. We have ellipticals, we have Stairmasters, steppers. I'm not a big fan of treadmills, but if that's your only option, then that's okay. Running outside, in that case, is another option. If you're stuck at home, don't have the luxury of having a gym membership, you can still do this at home. I've demonstrated in the past other options you could do. Mountain climbers holding onto a chair, step ups, you can run up and down your stairs at home. There are all different types of options you have in order to get your heart rate up. I like to make sure you get your heart rate up to a point where you can't carry on a conversation. That's a really good rule of thumb. If you can carry on a conversation while you're doing rigorous cardio, it's probably not rigorous enough, and you should probably up it a little bit. In addition to my certifications, I write for magazines, Significant Magazine, Integrity Magazine, and UK Health Triangle Magazine. I also co-host on UK Health Radio, Women's Broadcast TV Network. I broadcast it on iHeartRadio and LA Talk Radio. All of the subjects are surrounded around nutrition, well-being, fitness, wellness. We're going to go ahead and start abs. When I have my clients finish their 20 minutes of cardio, the first thing we do is abs. I like to make sure your core is nice and warm before you use it for any type of lifting. So I'm going to show you a couple different types of abdominal exercises to do before we work on our legs. We're going to be using a ball or a bench or a chair to do the first exercise. At the very end of it, or a piece of furniture, or if you're fortunate enough to have a bench or a ball, that's great too. We're going to do a knee tuck, alternating with a leg raise, kind of like a V-up. Knee tuck, that's 2. Knee tuck, 3. We're going to do 15 of these. And I'd like you to exhale while you are exerting yourself on a knee tuck. So you can count 10, inhale, 11, inhale, 12, 13, 14, and 15. If you can complete 3 sets of those, giving yourself about a 30-second to a minute break in between, that's what I would recommend. If you need to modify that exercise to make it a little easier, take out one of the 2. Take out either the knee tuck or take out the leg raise, and you can modify it to make it easier. If you want to make it more difficult, don't hold on. Let your arms out straight, and that will definitely make it a little bit more difficult for you. After 20 minutes of cardio and about 7 to 10 minutes on abs, we're going to start with legs. The first thing we're going to do is a seated leg extension, supersetted with a laid down leg curl. I'm using equipment that you probably have at home, and if you don't have it at home, it's not so difficult to get it. I'm going to be using a resist-band with an ankle strap around it. Make sure that when you are using your resist-bands and you need to secure them to something, they are secured to something that is going to be heavier than you, or the resistance that you're going to be pulling against it. For the first exercise, leg extension. I want you to sit on a seat, a chair, a bench, whatever you have to work with. And you're going to take the ankle strap and you're going to strap it along one foot, one ankle, so that it's nice and secure and stable. While you're sitting, you get to pick the type of resistance you want. So I have the strap secured to something nice and stable, and I'm sitting upright with the ankle strap wrapped around my ankle, And I'm just bringing my foot out straight in front of me, extending my leg out all the way straight. Okay. Make sure you get a set of 15 of these in. And we're going to do the next exercise, which is a lay down leg curl. I have the ankle strap attached to the same ankle. I'm just going to move the band around so that the strap now is going to be at the front of my ankle. Lay down for this exercise, flex your foot, and you're going to bring your heel right towards your butt. Curl it as best you can. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. You're going to feel this target, the hamstring, that we're trying to aim for. We just completed our first series on our leg day. I'm sure you're burning by now. I call that the warm-up. Now we're going to do some real good stuff. I have what you would recognize as a T-bar row set up in the corner, but I'm going to use it for squats. You can mimic this exercise at home by using any type of stick, from a paint roller, from possibly a broom, as long as it's maybe a push broom, something that's a little bit more sturdy. So what I'm going to do with this exercise is I'm going to set up as if I was going to do a row, but I'm going to squat with it instead. I have a towel that I'm using as my grip, because that's the only option I have at home. And I'm going to have this grip like so, the towel like so is my grip, and I'm going to wrap my hands around it to make it nice and sturdy for myself. This is very comfortable on the hands, and it will be nice and secure. I want to wrap the rope around the base of the Olympic bar that I'm using. Again, I'm going to take the rope, the rad, and I'm going to wrap my hands around it so it's nice and secure. You can't see it now because it's behind the plate. Bend at the knees, head up, chest up. Use your legs to extend your body up. Keep your weight on your back heels for this exercise. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Again, I can't stress enough how important it is that you keep your head up, your chest up, your back nice and straight, don't round it out, and keep your weight on your heels during this exercise. We're going to superset these squats with some lunges. I like to make sure that when you get yourself positioned, you have your feet spaced in such a way where both of your feet are in line with your hips. You to have a 90-degree bend in your front knee and a 90-degree bend in your back knee while doing a lunge. Head up, chest up. Drop your back knee to the ground. Your front knee is going to bend by itself. Notice I have my shoulders over my hips throughout the entire movement. Again, I'm watching for a 90-degree bend in the front knee and a 90-degree bend in the back knee. What I often see people do is they have a tendency to want to lunge forward, causing a really bad hinge in your front knee. Notice my front knee is not staying over my ankle, it is now over my toe, and causing your back leg to barely even bend at all. That is not the proper lunge. If you're trying to complete a proper lunge, get the idea of bringing your back knee to the ground. And that will keep you in perfect form. We're completing 15 of these. And then I want you to switch feet. Again, feet should be placed in line with your hips. You do not want to walk a tightrope. Watching for a 90-degree bend in both the front knee and the back knee. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I do not want you switching positions back and forth. I'm strictly doing it so you can see my form from different angles so that you can pay attention to what you should be paying attention to. There are different ways to modify that exercise. If we're trying to make that exercise a little easier for you to complete, I recommend you hold on to something. If you're at home, you can hold on to the banister, you can hold on to a doorway, you can hold on to something in front of you or on the sides of you, as long as it doesn't cause you to bring your shoulders forward during the exercise. While you lunge down, you want to make sure that you keep your feet in perfect alignment, but you also want to keep your shoulders in alignment with your hips. If you're trying to make that exercise more difficult, you would simply add weight to it. I'm not a big fan of walking lunges, although some people are very, very good at them. I don't prefer you do a walking lunge because every time you pick your foot up and step forward, you run the risk of your foot not being positioned properly. It could be in a little bit too far, making you walk that tightrope we talked about. It could be out too far, so it's out of line with your hip, or it could be positioned where it's too far in front or too far behind, where you're not going to get that 90-degree bend in your knees. So if you can, do a static lunge, stay in one spot. Now what I recommend is that you superset between those two exercises I just showed you. A squat, bearing some weight, along with a lunge. When we did the squat, you can add weight with household items. You can grab a bucket and throw some household items into it. You could put canned goods. You could take things out of the freezer and throw it in to make your bucket a little bit heavier. I also like the idea of you having weight in front of you if you're going to do any type of free squatting. This gives you the idea and the option of counterbalancing your body so that it's easier to find your center of gravity and you don't feel like you're going to fall backward. We are going to do one last superset, and this will complete your leg day. I have Trx straps. Not everybody has them. Not everybody has the luxury of having these in their garage or in their basement. But if you can get some, I highly recommend it. There are so many things we can do, including a lot of upper body things. I'm going to grab some now. I'm going to position them just so, and I'm going to show you how to do squats and single leg squats with them. These are great. You can pick them up almost anywhere online, and they're going to run you about $150 or so. Sometimes they're more. What's great about these though is that a lot of times they come with door attachments. So you have the option of hanging them from a tree, hanging them from rafters in your basement or in your attic, or hanging them, suspending them from a door. You can use them anywhere. You can use them when you travel. You can use them when you're, say, at your lake house, or if you have something like that, you can hook it around a tree if you have beautiful weather. Grab a hold of these. I want you to take your Trx straps and you're going to have them so that you are leaning back and your arms are straight. Trust the cables. Trust your straps. This is how you want to be positioned initially. Right now I have my feet shoulder apart, bend at the knees, and pop back up. Notice I'm not using my arms to pull me up. This is strictly a leg exercise. Feet are shoulder width apart on this exercise. And again, I'm watching for your knees to stay over your ankles. I don't want to see them come forward too much, and I don't want to see you barely bend your knees, just bringing your butt to the ground. I want to see you bend at the knees, past the 90-degree bend, drop your butt down past your knees. And we're doing 15 of these. The next exercise I want you to try, if you were in the advanced crowd, one foot on the ground in line with the cable up top, pick your other leg up, drop down, same form rules, keep your knee over your ankle. But I want you to be able to try to get as many as you can. The beginners might be lucky enough to get 1 or 2, and they may even have to use their other foot to help lift them up off the ground. After you've completed 3 sets of your TRX, supersetting between the 2 exercises I just gave you, squats and single leg squats, you will have completed a very good leg day. Thank you again for tuning in. Until next time.